Noxcrew! 'Twas Christmas once more, the Noxcrew thought with a sigh, looking back at the year that had swiftly flown by. So much had changed, it was also shiny and new, with friends all around them and lots still to do. But for now it was Christmas, and all was at last calm. This wasn't the time for fear or alarm, until all of a sudden there came a loud shout. Everyone rushed all around to see what was about. The helpbots were frantic, both flying all around. The vampire and the Australian had to quickly calm them down. "What's wrong?" cried the crew. "What on earth could it be?" They pointed at a screen. "Look, can't you see? The leader is missing. He's vanished. He's gone. Who now will lead the party and bring all the fun?" But the crew just scowled at that dusty old screen. The leader missing. Did they know what this means? There was no one to stop all the games they could play. And maybe at last they'd have a chilled Christmas day. "No, you don't understand. G.O.B's missing too." The crew leapt into action. They knew just what to do. For with G.O.B missing, no work would be done. And with work still to do, there could be no more fun. So they sent to the projects an unlucky 3 to find out where G.O.B and the leader could be. The lobster went to the factory, the vampire to Candyland, and the boy all in orange to the worlds built by hand. They met up in Strangeland, and upon a book mount, they all sat together, and their tales did recount. The workers in the factory, the emperor in his castle, the players in the worlds all told them to travel to Nox Mountain, where the Grinch once did live. But how could that be? Of the Grinch they were rid. He had fled that high mountain last Boxing Day. Who lived there now that the Grinch was away? "No matter," cried the crew. They would not be deterred. They'd get G.O.B back no matter what occurred. So up the high mountain the crew climbed together, though it was really cold, and it went on forever, until they reached the top and saw a sight not so nice. A huge sprawling palace made entirely of ice. And there was G.O.B and the leader, trapped in a cage, all covered in frost and shaking with rage. They had to save them. They ran up to the bars. They shook and they tugged, but they didn't get far, as suddenly a scream gave them all quite a fright, and appearing before them a woman, all in white. The Snow Queen was here, frozen sceptre a-twirl, who was here, you guessed it, to take over the world. She'd freeze the Nox crew and their squad into stone. Then she'd rule the whole land entirely alone. The Nox crew stood scheming, planning plans in their heads. But of course, as you'd imagine, the vampire saw red. She was the queen. They ruled this land. Against her crew and her squad, this witch would not make a stand. And though they tried to stop her, the witch she would bite. With magic and swords, the two started to fight. So as the crazy queens battled and fought, the crew ran to the bars that the Snow Queen had wrought. They were cold as iron and solid as steel, with no fire to melt them. Their fate it did seal. But as they gathered together and their friendship they felt, the frozen bars of the cage suddenly started to melt. For the Snow Queen's dark spell can never hold thrall over a team who looks out for one and for all. With the duo now free and the Snow Queen at bay, into the air came the typical Nox cry, "Run away!" So down the Nox Mountain the Nox crew all fled, the Queen close behind, blazing fiery white and red. They leapt into Noxcorp, not a second too late. The security protocols G.O.B did then activate. They shot at the Queen, who flew into the sky. She raged at the walls and then let out a cry. "I'll destroy you, Nox crew. Let me make this quite clear. Mark my words, you'll all burn next year." So off the Queen fled back to her ice home to plot the team's downfall, completely alone. Reunited at last, the crew with laughter and glee came together to celebrate under the Nox Christmas tree. But for now, it's time for the Nox crew to rest. From us all, we hope you are equally blessed. with friends and a family that hold you all dear. And to all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.